So I hope this is showing up okay. Using an older version of Word, and I don't know about your settings, your system, and all that, but if you click down here, if you set the percentage at 77 on my device, then I can take a piece of paper. I'm going to use a piece of construction paper, and if I slide it up here and line it up with the corners, then I know that the sheet of paper is the same as the sheet of paper that is shown here on the screen. Why is that important? Well, then I know that anything I see on the screen will be actual size when it prints. Now, you may see a few tokens in a card from a couple of games that I'm working on some things for. The problem was when I scanned it with my scanner, it takes a full image and fits it onto the sheet. So it actually shrinks the image and therefore shrinks the items inside the image. If you have a good webcam, you can actually take your object and zoom it in, and you can't see that good because of the computer, but I actually took a picture of this card with my webcam and did my project that way. I'm doing this one a little different just to show you one thing you can do. So you line up your paper, you know what it is. Once I had this scanned in, I simply copied it and pasted it into, into my paint. Okay. And here, if you notice, when I line the card up, it is the correct size. So what I did, this was the original card right here. I simply cut the object that I wanted, brought it down, and actually in paint 100% is exact. So these are the measurements, and I have just the image of the werewolf for the card I'm going to work on. Then I cut this out. The scanner added a shadowing effect, the way the light came down down and back, and created a shadow effect on the object. So cut that out. Let's zoom in a bit. So I've got some printouts here. These will be for a future video project, so let's just set those aside, and I'll finish cutting up or cutting out this. Some of you probably know already what this is from, what game this is from, but we'll get to that in a moment. Running out of ink, it looks like. It's not as dark as I'd like. It's a little light shaded, but still looks good. Still going to work, and I'm going to glue this in a moment. And when I'm gluing paper and stuff, I kind of like this, the spray adhesive. Works really good. Puts a nice even coat, then you don't end up with bubbles and all that. So I'm going to trim this up a little bit, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what we're going to be going for, and you can tell it printed out a little darker. This is my original. This, I actually used a piece of cardboard that I trimmed. The cardboard came in the middle of a year calendar, a wall calendar. It's nice thickness and density. I like it. So I got this. I'm going to do this one a little different and show you what I'm going to do. Have some old boxes here, old like kids cereal and lunch cracker snacks and such, and a lot of them will say right on it, it's a paper box. This is cardstock, kind of like a greeting card or birthday card or something. And so I'm going to cut these and stack them up to make them a little thicker, and then I'm going to use my glue, and we'll wrap it with some construction paper, and we'll take a look. I've got an old cardboard box outside that I will use to hold the items in to spray. So I won't have to do this indoors, because you don't want to do this indoors, definitely. But alright, we'll take a little break here and come back and take a look. Okay, so what I've done is taken this one panel, the other side of course, and I've cut it in half, trimmed it up, and then I got two pieces roughly the same size. I'm going to take these out
spray them, glue them together just to get a little bit more thickness. And then I've cut some black construction paper that we're going to use to wrap these, and I will show you that process. But first I'm going to get these primed with some glue, and we'll be right back.
So I've glued those two pieces of cardboard together. Now I'm just trimming off a little bit of the corners of this construction paper. There we go. So now what I'll do is go ahead and pre-bend these tabs. It's okay if it overlaps a little bit, that'll be fine. But what I would recommend is either do both long sides and then the two short ones, or two short ones and then the long ones. That way it looks somewhat even when you go to glue it. So now I've got these glued together face to face, make it a little bit thicker. And I've got this pre-bent. I'm going to take this out to the box, do the other one as well, and glue, spray with the glue. And it will stay tacky for a while, but you want to move as quick as you can, and it'll slide around some. And then fold these over. So let me do that. We'll be right back. Fold that side down and then wedged it up in there as best I could. Put this down as smooth as I can. And then fold these down in the middle, pushing out to the corner. As I pull this way, pull it. And like that. And then when you get to the corner, just touch it up the best you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but if you don't have big lines, then it's less likely to tear or rip, and it'll last a little longer, look a little better. There we go. That is half of it done. So now I got to get my other sheet's going to be a little bit larger, because I'm going to put this picture on top of it, so we want to have plenty of creases. So I'll prep that. Be right back. Just got this one inside from, I don't know if you can see the little bubbles of glue. So we're going to take the other side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it near this top bend and get it as straight as I can. And then work my way down, across, and out. It's okay if it overlaps just a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect when you cut out these corners, but if you want, you can always cut a little more off, because your fold over will cover up any little holes you might have there in the corner. Alright, we are almost done. And be careful with this glue. Definitely want to spray it outside. I use the cardboard box just to keep it from getting on anything, because it is sticky and messy, and touching the paper and rubbing it, you will get some on your fingers. So I've got a little bit of extra there where I didn't trim well enough. This one doesn't look too bad. Might could trim just a tiny bit. Hold a knife at an angle up under the corner just to trim off a little bit of that. And then lay that down. Yep. Looks good. This side's a little worse, so definitely. And when you're trimming like this, if you can do it in one slide, it does do much better. Leaves less rough edges, so make sure you push down a little harder. Get this one just to trim up that excess there, and then there we go. Alright, now don't want to spray this side because my picture is smaller. Okay, this is about the size of one of the cards in the game. This is going to be a little bit larger. You'll see why in just a moment. So we're going to spray the back of this. So make sure you get a light dusting. Hold the spray can far enough away, because this will go as center as you can get it And you'll have a nice, cool looking black border around it, but you don't want all the excess edges to have glue on them, and then you're having to wait for it to dry and you're getting fingerprints and stuff on it. So we're going to take this outside now and spray that. Be right back again. Finger's a little sticky. This will cover up most of the seams that you have from folding the paper over. There we go. Now if you fold the other sides in first, then you might could have seams just a little bit different. And you can pull this up. It is not, it's tacky, but it's not stuck. That way if you have a bubble or a crease and you want to get it out, just pull it up. And there we go. Okay, it's not perfect, but it looks pretty cool. It's nice, thick, durable, especially when you wrap those that cardstock with the construction paper. There we go. Alright, let me move this stuff out of the way and show you what I use this for. Okay, so this is a basic setup for Werewolf Inquisition. It's a neat little game, and as you play, instead of pointing fingers at players and voting for them, you have these vote cubes that you might put on cards through different gameplay, and the one with the most would be eliminated. So let's just say, for instance, this one or whatever. That would be the person that got executed. Then you have the night phase, and this is supposed to be the top, middle, bottom. You pass the cards around the table. You try to make a little noise so people can't hear. But when they first teach this game, there's always a little confusion about passing around the table. So now I have this. And it doesn't matter if you remember this is top, this is bottom, whatever. All you have to remember when you're the werewolf, you flip these over and, oh, well, I definitely don't want to kill off a werewolf, one of my buddies. Let's kill the seer. So when I flip this stack of cards, the seer at night, during the night phase, came face to face with the killer werewolf. And then everyone will know the card that came face to face with the werewolf is the one that died in the night. You go around the table, and as long as one person knows how the game works and plays, then they can be the person that takes care of this after everyone opens their eyes. Top card, next card, and this is the one that died. Oh, the werewolf's got the seer. And that is what this is for. And it's also nice and thick, so it's something to hold on to when people have their eyes closed and they're passing around the table and they want to make a little noise with the cards, you know, bang them around. This will wear out over time, but it's nice and thick, and like I said, it makes it much easier to explain. Whoever comes face to face with the killer werewolf at night is the one that dies. And there you go. And that's what I use this for. So now I've got an extra one. I have some friends that played this with me that live out of state, and so I'll probably mail this to them because I found out that they just picked themselves up a copy. So there you go. Hope that helps. Maybe nothing else, you can use this to show some friends, make one yourself, or explain the rule about the night phase when people die. So there you go. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.